Mr. Cuomo, I have never had to resign in disgrace. I have never cut Medicaid. I have never stolen hundreds of millions of dollars from the MTA. I have never hounded the 13 women who credibly accused me of sexual harassment. I have never sued for their gynecological records, and I have never done those things because I am not you, Mr. Cuomo. And furthermore, the name is Mamdani, M-A-M-D-A-N-I. You should learn how to say it because we got to get it right.
In response to all this obvious abuse of authoritarian power by the administration, this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, there will be 2,500 rallies across the United States under the banner of the No Kings protest. All right? Saturday. Check your local listings. No Kings, yes. It's No Kings, or as the Republicans are calling it,
this Hate America rally that they have coming up for October 18th?
This is about one thing and one thing only. A Hate America rally.
Hate America? It's No Kings. America does not like kings. There are only 3 good kings in America: Gail, Stephen, and Berger. So mad. If you're no fan of kings, you can scan this QR code right there to find a march near you.
So just to be clear, peacefully protesting a wannabe dictator means you hate America. Attacking the Capitol to overturn an election, patriotic walking tour. There is nothing more American than a political protest. The American Revolution was a No Kings rally. And if you are planning to go to the rally and you're going to be making your own sign, everybody there has a sign. I just want to ask you, remember, our president is very sensitive about his weight, so please do not use the word Shamussolini to describe him, or engorge Washington, or King Hungry VIII. He will not appreciate it. It's rude, and he will throw you in jail.
Well, the Telegram group chat of a bunch of Republicans became public, and guess what? They're all racist, misogynist jackholes. Says old Texas Paul, hope your coffee's as good as mine. Hell, I hope it's better. I live in the middle of these people. I've been telling you forever there's no common ground there, and both sidism is bullshit. This is who these people are at their core. All of them. All of them. This isn't some few bad apples that are in the young Republicans. And by the way, young Republicans means 18 to 40. Some of these were staffers on the Hill. One of them holds damn office up in New Hampshire. Yeah, folks, this is not a one-off thing. This isn't, something that a couple bad apples did. And no, the reason Republicans want to blow it off is because they know, from Donald Trump to J.D. Vance to every damn elected Republican, they are all these people. They're all bigots. To the last man, without exception. That's why they were so heartbroken when Charlie Kirk, the bigot, got killed. And they walked around saying, I am Charlie Kirk. They are Charlie Kirk. Well, you got Nick Fuentes, the head of the Groypers, who's a bunch of out racists, celebrating, saying, woo, oh, they were a little sloppy, but this shows they're all us. Believe them. I've been telling you this shit for years, and you've been telling me, well, we've got to find common ground. There's no common ground. At all. This is who they are. Believe them.
See, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Complain? Yes, actually. Yes, it turns out the American people, at least, are going to complain about it, particularly about the masked secret police force brutalizing people in the streets part of it, which we are experiencing right now. The American people are going to complain about that in every way they know how, including while they are dressed in inflatable Tyrannosaurus Rex costumes. And when they are dressed up as frogs and unicorns and axolotls and bananas, so many bananas, and peacocks and pandas and raccoons and spacemen and lobsters and sharks, we will protest and mock you while dressed up as mushrooms and Pokemons and SpongeBob SquarePants, and while dressed up as Bob Ross, as Bob Ross the painter, wearing a Bob Ross wig, painting the ongoing protests around us. Protesters in Portland this weekend blew bubbles at ICE agents and hula hooped at them. They formed a flash mob to do a coordinated dance performance of the cha-cha slide. They held formal afternoon tea services. They went, quote, ice fishing. They tied donuts to poles and pretended to lure federal agents with those delicious sugary pastries. This form of absurdist resistance and protest and mockery in Portland started with a guy in a chicken suit showing up at the ICE headquarters every day, and one guy in an inflatable frog costume showing up at the protest every day and not backing off even when the masked Trump goons pepper sprayed the inflatable frog. In Portland, Oregon, they have been laughing at the fact that Trump was trying to justify sending in the troops by saying this was a war-ravaged city, by showing in every way they know how that Portland is just as wonderful and weird as it's always been. By this weekend, what local Portland residents were calling Operation Inflation, they had dozens of people out dancing and protesting in inflatable chicken suits and dino suits and mushroom suits and the yips, the guys from everything, right? They had a brass band out among the protesters, most of whom were wearing banana suits themselves. At least some members of the Banana Block brass band were pepper sprayed by federal agents because God forbid there be a band. At least one member of the band was arrested while committing the crime of playing the clarinet. And because Portland is Portland, where every year they hold a naked bike ride, because A, why not? And B, to show the vulnerability of cyclists. So drivers take care to not hurt cyclists on the road. That is the basic idea of the weird and wonderful annual Portland naked bike ride. This weekend, they did an extra one. They held what they called an emergency naked bike ride, an extra one this year. Oregon Live reports that at the start of it at the Oregon Convention Center, where it was 53 degrees, there were about 1,000 people turned out for the emergency naked bike ride. By the time people got to the Portland ICE facility, there were several thousand people on bikes in various states of undress, protesting against Trump and ICE and him wanting to send troops into that city. Have you ever loved Portland more than you do in this moment? People turned out in big numbers in Williston, Vermont this weekend, where they are trying to expand the ICE facility there, and locals say they are having none of it. In Memphis, Tennessee this weekend, U.S. military veterans set up an encampment at City Hall to protest Trump sending troops to that city. In Columbia, Missouri, this weekend, people from the excellent local music scene came out to protest and essentially play a live protest show at City Hall after ICE came in and took the guy who does security at the Blue Note and the Rose Music Hall, those legendary music venues in Columbia, Missouri. Chicago community leaders led a protest at the ICE facility in Broadview. Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamurti asked to be let into that facility, to see that facility. As a member of Congress, they're supposed to let him do that under federal law, but today they would not let him inside. What are expected to be absolutely massive No Kings protests this weekend. This is happening this Saturday, October 18th, all over the country. These protests this Saturday, as I said, they're going to happen everywhere in more than 2,000 locations. If past is prologue, this is on track to be one of the largest protests in American history.
Hey friends, I'm a 14-year Army veteran, served in Iraq, and I have some very important security updates regarding the No Kings March tomorrow. There's been chatter a lot in recent days about what involvement law enforcement will have on the inside, on the protester side, and more of that information is coming in. I saw someone that has contacts within the FBI that confirms that the FBI has compiled a list of the March locations. They're going to be embedding agents undercover. And given the fact that they work for Kash Patel, who's his daddy? Trump. Trump wants instigators. Trump wants violence. The FBI agents could force that. Or we know that the Proud Boys and white nationalist groups are also going to be out in full force. trying to instigate things. Here's a few tips how you can tell. Now, it's been a long time since I've been in protection and work protection detail, but if you see a cord like this that is coming out of somebody's ear, now this is old school. This is old. The technology now, the wire is a lot thinner, but if you see any kind of a wire that is coming out the back of somebody's shirt and into their ear, that means they've got a radio. That means that they could be police. That means they could be part of the militia groups. So also, like in the middle of their t-shirt or whatever they're wearing in the back, you'll likely see a line that connects to the radio. The radio will likely stick out. They also may wear very baggy clothing with long sleeves. Another telltale sign is if you see somebody doing this, like Secret Service talking, you know they have a radio. But they can be tricky. They could act like they're kind of like rubbing their nose and they're talking at the same time. And if you see them talking while they're doing that, it's likely they have a mic right up under here under their sleeve. The other thing is you could oftentimes see the line of the bulletproof vest. It'll have straps, and then it will be very form-fitting in the front and the back. If they have their gun holstered on the side, that'll stick out. If you see them, do not approach them. Do not call them out. Be like a spy. Walk in front of them. Pretend like you're taking video and pictures, and then go around behind you casually. Don't be noticed. Get some video or pictures, like preferably video, of their face and the shirt they're wearing. Pay attention to them. They may be an instigator. And if they are, then you have their face and it can be turned over to the authorities. But do not confront them. But you need to be aware.
Can't make this stuff up. Donald Trump announced this week that he will be using tariff money to solve a problem created by, yes, his tariffs. Yes, I am talking about the farm subsidies. Here's Donald Trump just this week.
By the way, we're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, just to get off the subject for a second, we're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, we're going to give it to our farmers, who are, for a little while, going to be hurt until it kicks in. The tariffs kick into their benefit.
Oh, I see. So we are going to take the tariff money that American consumers primarily are spending, which was supposed to go to pay off our deficit, which has exploded because of Republican tax policy, and use it to bail out farmers because why? Trump said they're hurting. Why are they hurting? Let's do a quick review. You'll remember that right after he was elected, Donald Trump put 10% tariffs on all Chinese goods, then that went up to 20%, then he added another 50%, and China retaliated. Their reciprocal tariffs went up to 125% on U.S. goods. In May, the U.S. and China reached a temporary trade agreement, reducing tariffs to 10% on most imported goods. China implemented a 30% rate on most U.S. imports, good for 90 days. But then that was extended many times. But China did something else. They revoked soybean import licenses from 3 U.S. firms. And they basically stopped buying U.S. soybeans at all. This after having spent $12.6 billion on them last year. Instead, China started buying their soybeans from South America, primarily Argentina and Brazil. And this in turn had devastating impacts on American soybean farmers. Started seeing headlines like these and these. And these. In short, the tariffs have been an absolute catastrophe for soybean farmers across the United States. Catastrophe. So what does Donald Trump do? He commits $20 billion in U.S. taxpayer money to bail out Argentina, a right-wing government he happens to love, even though they are cleaning our farmers' clock in terms of soybean imports. Farmers everywhere are outraged, so what does Trump do? Trump decides this week to take tariff money and bail out the farmers. He's created a problem and he's making us pay to fix it. And then we're also paying to fix Argentina's economy? What? This is Trump's genius policy, break the economy with unaffordable tariffs that we're paying and then make us pay to fix the damage the tariffs did? But God forbid we ask for money to extend the ACA premium tax credits. Why would we do that when we could give it to Argentina? Remind me how this is making America great again? You can't, because it's absolute madness and you and I are paying for it.
And some of those that burn crosses are the same that hold office. And some of those that burn crosses are the same that hold office.
going to tell you this. Spread it around. There's no chaos in Portland. None. There is no chaos in Chicago. There was no chaos in Los Angeles. They're pretending there's chaos as a pretense for a military takeover. But I'm open-minded. If there is chaos in these cities Trump calls hellholes, let's see it and decide if something needs to be done about it. So when we put out the word, we ask those of you living in them to show us your hellholes. And before I share this, I want to warn you, this is not for the faint of heart.
Hey, Jimmy, this is Kapil reporting from the hellhole that is Chicago. You can see behind me there's about 40,000 people that are being forced to run for their lives. They're going to run 26 miles. There's people all around them, jeering them, making fun of them. Some are even offering them bananas.
We're in downtown Chicago. There's radical musicians playing on the street.
It's getting scary out here. The bushes themselves are turning on ICE agents. The houses are turning gay. Send help.
We're really, really frightened. We're just trying to survive. And I want to say the restaurant where my husband and I are eating is out of the crab rangoon.
I'm here in Chicago where the carnage continues. The latest, our beloved $4 car wash has turned into a $5 car wash as our community grows a bit more unrecognizable by the day. Antifa wins.
Oh my God, I don't even recognize this country anymore. If you would like to share the terror and mass violence that either is or definitely isn't taking place in your city, make a video, upload it to YouTube or any social media platform with the hashtag #ShowMeYourHellhole. Be on the lookout for a message from us, and maybe you too can help educate our president on what is happening in the country he runs.
I'm in a bar in a back room of a liquor store in Chicago. It's a Mexican bar. The people that invited me in were Mexican. They saw me from social media and was like, hey, we love you. Will you come in? Yeah, I'll come in and have a Modelo. The point I want to get across. The beauty of this country is our diversity. And I don't understand how people don't see that. I love our diversity. I love it. Why do you hate it? I don't get it. I'm logging off.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Good morning.
Do we have sound? Let's see here. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there it is. All right, 11:39 a.m. in the Pacific time zone. It's currently 73 degrees here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Our high today is only going to be 78. For tomorrow's No Kings marches, I think there's more than one in Vegas. I think the highest is going to be 82 and sunny. So if you're going out, get some sunscreen on. I'll be out there. Apparently, there is one at 11 a.m. at downtown by the federal court buildings, courthouse. I think that's at 11 a.m. The one I'm going to it starts later. I think it's at 4:30 p.m. at New York, on the Strip. I'll be there. You guys be there. I want you all to book flights right now to Las Vegas and be at the No Kings March with me in front of New York. If you can't do that, then be with me in spirit and to wherever the nearest one is to you. Now, my chat moved on me. I had it all. It was at the very beginning, and I was going to say Jolie was first. So I'm just going by memory now because it won't let me go back to that. But Jolie was first, and it's also a great day. Maybe one of the greatest days of the year. This is Jolie's birthday today. So happy birthday to Jolie. Thank you for spending time with us on your birthday. I do appreciate it. So thank you so much, and happy birthday to you. And I hope you have a really great day. And I bet you and your girls and your family are going to have a great time today, probably, right? All right. So yeah, Jolie was first. I think Sandy might have been second, and I think another S was in there. Was it Susie? Susie was in there third or something. I don't know. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to make this a competition. Just wanted to say hi to everybody. And make sure I wish Jolie a happy birthday today. So now we're skipping on down quite a bit into the chat. Well, maybe not quite a bit. It's probably just down a little bit. I'm sure this is way before the show even started. But we got Fancy in here, and there's Fancy. Fancy, thank you so much for being here. I hope you don't mind. I sort of screenshotted some of the images from your video because I don't know. It's what I do. It's what I do. Fancy, thanks for the video. Put out another great video. If you guys want to check it out, we'll probably have that link in the chat at some point. Really funny video, and it features me as a old fat rock star guy. With the old fat part is very true to life. The rock star part, not so much. But of course, it's my fantasy. And there's some other folks here that you guys probably know in the chat that Fancy is featured in there. It's got Jolie in there. It's got Michael McAndrews and is it 007 Kevin here? So Fancy going around making these videos, been featuring fellow chatters, fellow sparklers, fellow trucklers, and people from these various chat rooms that we hang out in. And Fancy's been making some really great videos. So you want to check out her channel and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to her Fancy's channel, and you can see all these. She has a whole bunch of these really very creative, funny, very colorful videos with great songs, really great songs that she's put in there that she's creating. So check that out. That's really, really good to see. Now I did see. It skipped me down. Sandy Foltz did already do a $2 super chat or super sticker. It was before the goal, but yippee! I'll give Sandy a yippee. Thank you so much, Sandy, for the $2 super. I don't know if it was a super sticker or a super chat, but I did see it in there. I can't see it now unless I go to a whole different thing. But thank you, Sandy Foltz, for that. I appreciate you. Susie Jones got to take a nap already. We just got started, Susie. Susie says, I got to take a nap, stressed out about being broke until the 27th. I don't know. I'm just down. I know. I do that too. If whenever I get kind of depressed or I have a tendency to just want to sort of like it's more than just chilling out. I just want to veg out on the couch and not go anywhere, not do anything. Some of that 2 point is good, but maybe, try to make sure you at some point get up and walk around, get some walking in, get out, get some sunshine. I know things are tough. Things can be tough, and it just makes you want to curl up into a ball and just not move. But try to get yourself at some point up and out of the house, out of your apartment or your house, and just get 5 minutes of sunshine. Go take the trash out, go check your mail. If you have a 7-Eleven like I do 3 minutes away, go to 7-Eleven and get yourself a Slurpee. I know, or whatever. But do a little something. I understand though. I'm totally there with you. I do the same thing where I just veg out, and then sometimes it'll be like sometimes I'll realize like I haven't been out of my apartment. I have not stepped outside the door of my apartment for 3 days, and I'm like, what the fuck what am I doing? I got to get up and out and get some sunshine. So anyhow, Susie, I hope you feel better. I know finances and money are like the biggest stress points that we go through. They cause the most stress is finances, right? But still, try to take care of yourself, and try to get 5 or 10 minutes of some sunshine outside and walk around the block or something. It does help. It does. I think it does help you feel a little bit better. And then you can come back in and you can veg out until the next day. But at least take 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, to just go outside, walk around the block, go get you a Slurpee, whatever, and you might be surprised that some fresh air, some sunshine could actually lift your spirits a little bit. But I don't mean this as a put downer, because I do the same thing. I just did the same thing. I think it was last week or something, where that's the 3-day thing, where I was like, I realized that I had not left my apartment for like 3 solid days. Nothing, not even to check my mail, not to take out the trash, not to go get a Slurpee. I didn't do nothing. And I was like, what the fuck? What did I just do? I mean, I thought that was kind of strange to not even leave the apartment for even just to go check my mail or whatever. I mean, it was weird, but and then I kind of didn't even realize how long I had been cooped up in here. I think it was 3 days, 3 whole complete days, not just like 3 days and a night or a day and the next day or whatever. It was like at least 3 complete whole days where I did not step one little toe out my door. And then I was like, I can't, this is not healthy. It's okay. Okay. You want to take a break, you want to rest, fine. But it's not healthy, I don't think, just to stay cooped up and not ever get out. Like I said, if you're feeling down and blue and depressed, try to get out, get some sunshine. And I don't know where you're at. If you're in a place where there's no sunshine, but even just being out in the fresh air, even if it's cloudy out, even if it's cloudy and gloomy, just getting out, getting some fresh air, getting your body moving a little bit, get the blood flowing a little bit. It really, really helps. So if you can do that, I highly recommend it. And I hope things turn around for you, Susie Jones. Catherine Reynolds says Aerosmith songs, "Eat the Rich" and "Living on the Edge." I love Aerosmith, especially that era. Especially the "Eat the Rich" era. The 70s. The 70s Aerosmith are my favorite. "Living on the Edge," then that was a little later, wasn't that in the 80s, I guess. I like that song, and it's funny whenever Philip Ittner talks about his show On the Edge. That's the first thing that comes to my mind is "Living on the Edge," and I think that should be his theme song. But instead, he's more operatic. He has like orchestral chamber music or something, whatever you call it. But yeah. So yeah, I like me some Aerosmith. Bethany S. Arball's here. Did I mention that was Catherine Brillhell-Talk, the other one? And here's Bethany S. Arball's here. Bob Ross. Bob Ross was in that little intro there. Luck Dragon says democracy is just a baseline. Democracy is just a baseline. America is actually completely different than any democracy in history. Thank God for books. Like my daddy always told me. Well, he said it I think once, but it stuck with me. And I've told this story a few times, so. But I'm going to tell it again because maybe you didn't hear it. Maybe you weren't listening. I don't know. But this is back in around 1973. So some of you in the chat might not even have been born yet. Although I see the demographics in my analytics, and I know that almost all of you were born by then. But in any case, so think back to 1973. No Fox News, no Rush Limbaugh. Basically, no cable like we have it now. I mean, they had what was called we had a cable company, but all it did was bring us the broadcast channels basically, because of where we lived, antennas weren't very good. So we had a cable company. They had cable companies, but it just brought you like the broadcast, like ABC, NBC, CBS, and stuff like that. So that's all you had, right? So in 1973, we were listening to a radio station. I think it was KFI probably, which is a big LA station. And we're out in the desert. We're about 90 miles away, over on the other side of a mountain range. But KFI was such a big, powerful station that we could get it. And they had KFI, for those of you that don't know, it's basically, especially then, I haven't listened to it in a while, but it's basically all talk shows and news reporting and stuff like that. It's not, they don't play music. It's an AM, KFI, 640. And anyhow, we were in the car, had KFI on. I don't know who was on there. And in those days, I would say they were conservative, but it wasn't like it is now. It wasn't like hardcore right-wing propaganda. They were definitely, I guess I would say, conservative, or at least middle of the roaders. Most of the programming on KFI and probably most stations in general. And I don't know. And they would have call-in shows, and they had a topic, and I know. And the topic, and one of the common topics that a recurring theme was complaining about taxes. Right. It always has been and always will be. That will be one of the recurring themes of people complaining about taxes. And so I think one of the callers or somebody in the topic was like, I don't want my taxes going to pay for welfare. Remember, this is like 1973. Okay. So just a lot of stuff that we're dealing with today, it's been around forever. That's the point I'm trying to make, I guess. And I don't want my taxes going to paying for welfare and lazy people just getting my money and all that kind of shit. And I remember my dad turned to me as we were driving, and he said, son, we are, and this is 1973, we are a big enough and rich enough country. Because I don't know if we were the richest country at the time. We probably were, even in 73. But anyhow, my dad goes, we are big enough and we are rich enough to be able to do both things. He said, we're a hybrid. We are able to help people out who need a hand with welfare and food stamps and things like that. And we are also able to be capitalists. We can still be capitalists. We can still have entrepreneurs that want to own businesses, and we can have people that want to, make a profit, turn a profit. He said, we can do both. This is my dad, who was really, my dad is a wonderful guy, great man. I'm going to start crying if I keep talking about him, because I miss him, and he was a great guy. But he was a union guy at the time. later in life became a management guy, but he was a union guy, but he never really talked about politics all that much. They didn't really talk about politics. I don't know. I'm not even sure who he was registered with. I'm not even sure who he voted for. They didn't really talk about it too much. I do know that my mom and dad liked the Kennedys a lot. So I just kind of assumed they were Democrats, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure because they didn't really talk about it. It wasn't like something we talked about all the time. And maybe that's why I remember this conversation so much with my dad, because it was a rare moment where he actually kind of said this very kind of, I guess you could say, political statement. And it stuck with me all these years. Here I am. I'm 65 years old now. When my dad said that, I was probably 12 or 13 or something. And I've kind of lived by that. That's how. It shows. I guess it goes to show how how we can be influential in the things we say. So it's important. I get, and maybe I've been too flippant and too casual about the things I say over the years. But it's an example of how words really matter, and you can be so influential, especially to your kids. And my dad told me that, and it's stuck with me all these years. And I do believe that we are a hybrid. I do believe that we can do both. I do believe that we can have a strong social safety net, and we can have, Medicare and Medicaid, and we can have food stamps, and we can have programs that help with housing and all that shit. And the people who want to go and make businesses and do that, they can still do that. And people who want to, not that those are all rich people, but a lot of the entrepreneurs and business people, they're just average middle class people, and they're trying to make their businesses successful. And then there's the big ones, the big 1%ers and the 1/10 of 1%ers. Whatever, they can go and make their money all they want. I don't really give a fuck. Make your money. But don't be so greedy that you can't fucking pay some taxes so you help people. I don't know. I'm so emotional today. I was thinking about thinking about my dad, and I'm kind of like the Jolly Good Ginger. Maybe he made me cry. I don't know. The Jolly Good Ginger. He had a few Modelo's in him probably, and but he was emotional because he can't understand why are people so hateful and why are people so fucking racist, And God, I did not plan this to be John's crying show. That's what I get from talking about my dad, I guess. But anyway, these things, they get to you. All this racism and all these fucking greedy assholes who are willing to put a fucking pedophile in the highest office of the land just so they can fucking not pay taxes. It's disgusting and it's vile. It's disgusting, man. That's why we all need to show up at the No Kings tomorrow. Wherever you're at, please just go hang out. Protest peacefully. We need to show up in huge numbers. Because we're gonna lose our country, huh? Okay, I feel like just ending the show now. Shit. Sitting up here crying like a fucking pussy. Anyhow, guys, now my glasses are all fucked up. Anyhow, I hope you guys, hope everyone's doing well today. I think that I'm gonna blame that on Luck Dragon. I read Luck Dragon's post there, and then it just set me off on this thing here. Let me clean these glasses. They got all foggy somehow. I'm not crying. It's foggy in here. It's just foggy. That's all. Oh man. All right, guys. Back to the chat. Michael McAndrews is here laughing out loud. I'm way behind. I know I'm like 30 minutes behind in the chat. So, Witchy Woman's here. Thank you for being here, Witchy Woman. Good to see you. Let's see. Catherine Real Health Talk said I heard someone say don't wear Antifa shirts. Yeah, maybe that. Because I was thinking I don't have one, but I was actually thinking about maybe ordering an Antifa shirt or a hat. I was actually thinking about that, but I didn't do it. But yeah, maybe it's not a good idea unless you want to get tackled and arrested. Which maybe you want that. David Weiss is here. Hey, David from Denver. Good to see David from Denver. Checking on here. Falcor is here. Hey, Falcor. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Anna Moore's here. Anna Moore says, I think, oh my God, the guy in the intro, I'll give him tears. Oh, that was the Jolly Good Ginger guy. Yeah, he was having a moment. He was having a moment there. He's in a Mexican bar having a good time. He sees these people, they're playing the Mexican music and having everyone's happy and happy and friendly and having a good time. And he's like, why the fuck are so many people outside that hate these people? So yeah, he was having a moment there. And I don't blame him for, getting emotional, I guess. Damon Dog, the big dog, is here. Says, when I see people get mentioned in chat that have blocked, let's me pretend they're really ghosts. Petrazi20 is here. Hello, Petrazi20. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate you. Catherine Real Hot Talk says, Kamala Harris, these motherfuckers are crazy. Yeah, even Kamala Harris dropping some F-bombs, and that's where we're at, man. Next thing you know, Michelle Obama's going to go, fuck that going high shit. I was wrong. Fucking cap their knees, man. Or whatever. Take them out at the knees. Chris Doug's here. Chris Doug is saying Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Mike Johnson, Fox News, Newsmax, scared shitless over No Kings, as they should be. And I don't mean that as like some sort of physical threats or anything like that, but they should be. They get scared shitless when we all come together in one voice. They started. I could see it back in the Occupy Wall Street days. That was growing and growing and growing and growing, and I could see their fear. I saw the fear in fucking Jamie Dimon's eyes. So fuck those assholes. Let's show up. Let's show up. Let's tell them that we're not going to take this shit. We're not going to take their fucking shit. We outnumber them like 1 billion to 1, man. Okay, 339,999,000 to 1, or whatever it is. Christina and Son Ghost Squad's here. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Russell S is here. Hey, Russell S. Says yes. I'm not sure. Because this is when I was saying, can you guys hear me? So I'm just now at that point where I just came on. So I should skip down a little bit because it is I'm way behind. I did go off on some tangents there, and so that makes me even more behind. I do see Aaron West is here, so we are at full mod capacity. Got Aaron and Jolie, the birthday girl. Anthony Ruminiak is here. Says yes, we do. You're on air. I'm on the air. Okay. Yeah. So I'm. Yeah, that's like 28 minutes ago, I think. I'm about 28 minutes behind you. Yeah, Michael McAndrews is John the Famous Rock Star. Poor Michael McAndrews was the evil wizard. Poor Michael. I felt bad for Michael, actually, on that. Catherine Real Hell Talk says, wear good shoes, have appropriate gear with you. Yeah, if you're going to go to March, make comfortable shoes is very important. Good, sturdy, but something you're not going to get blisters on or wearing. My TV just sort of flickered or whatever. I have the TV on. Oh, I don't know what it is, but let's see. I see Wes. I see Mr. Android, otherwise known as Wes, left a comment. Oh, it's on Cliff's Edge is on. Okay. That popped on my TV. Let's see. Who else we got in here? Christina Ghost Sun Ghost Squad says, I can't come to the one in Las Vegas because of the economy. I'm poor, but I'm going to the one in my neighborhood. Petrozzi, I'll be in Cincinnati. Right. And that was tongue in cheek, a bit tongue in cheek about coming to Vegas. But I did say if you can't come to Vegas, go to the one nearest you, nearby, the nearest one to you. David Dog, I can book the flight, just can't afford it. David Dog, I believe you're going up to DC, I think. So with your gas mask. So yeah, head up there. In your new truck, by the way, congratulations. Robert Nicholas says, did you guys hear Taco drop the F-bomb at the end of his White House meeting with Zelensky? I did not, but just more frustration from him. I think the stress is getting to him for so many things. Luck Dragon says, I will be in Oakland, California, passing out hot dogs at Lake Merritt Park, which is less than a mile away from downtown. 007 Kevin Trollslayer says, hey, John, I see you found the video. I did. I've watched it several times. I really enjoyed it. I did feel bad for Michael McAndrews, though, being portrayed that way. And Michael McAndrews says, I had good dreams last night about Jolie and Fancy. Uh-oh. Oh, hey. Christina Weibel says, Jolie, did you hear Liberal Dan's birthday song in the chat? We are in on messengers. I did. I didn't, but Catherine Real Hell Talk, Ace Frehley, rest in peace. Yeah, he just passed away. I guess it was yesterday. And apparently, it was from injuries from a fall that he had a few weeks ago. So kind of a freaky way to go. But those falls, you got to watch out. I had a cousin of mine who, I would say we were close, but we hadn't seen each other in decades. But we reconnected through Facebook, and I feel like, I felt like we, were really close, even though it was all through just Facebook and stuff. And she passed away a couple years ago from a fall. She fell, I guess, hit her head or something, and then died. I want to say it was like a day later. It wasn't like Ace was like 2 or 3 weeks, but she ended up dying from that fall. So falling could be very dangerous. So be careful when you guys are walking, especially as we get older. But yeah, Ace Frehley, rest in peace. I'm skipping down a little bit here, guys. I know I'm really behind in the chat. There's Jolie putting the link to Fancy's YouTube channel. Guys, go. You can even go right now if you want. Go there and give Fancy a sub. I don't mean a sub sandwich, although that might be nice. But give her subscribe to the channel. Then come back here, and then afterwards you can go and watch all of Fancy's videos. Catherine Real Hell Talk says tomorrow is a day for one main message. There is a lot to march about. We just need to be out there, all of us, protesting this wannabe king, this wannabe, dictator. Witchy Woman says, get a cat. When you feed the crows, it will escape and hide in the shed, so you chase it. That's enough exercise for the week. I have a feeling that was based on a true story. Christina Wild says, be right back. Going out on my screen porch to get some fresh air. Was this when I was telling Susie to get some fresh air? David Duck says, only bad part of buying a new truck is I lost all my window stickers I had on the old one. Oh, you can start a new collection, I guess. .007 Kevin says, at Michael McAndrews, there is a reason why I'm always on a dragon. I told her my high school mascot was a dragon, so when she mentions me, oh, dragon. Nothing out loud. Look, Dragon says, I have PTSD. I have no family, only a woman who believes in my heart, I guess. And I can't, my eyes are so bad, I can't tell what that emoji is or whatever we call it. I don't even know what that is. It believes in my, I have no idea what it is. I'm sorry. But at least you got a woman who believes in your heart. And that's all you need, my friend. That might be all you need. Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right. It's all right. Whatever gets you through the night. Let's see here. Skipping down a little bit here in the chat room, in this chat rooms that we call the driver's lounge. Anna Moore says sage smudging is a good way to clear the atmosphere. Michael McAndrews, I love to joke around. I love the kid. I also love Fancy. Oh, that's nice. And Jolie, he says. So that's also nice. Okay, I'm skipping down a little bit in the chat here. Trying to get caught up a little bit. Elizabeth Fernandez is here. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. Howdy back at you. Alton Stube is here. Hey, or Alvin Stube. Not, I would think I was confusing that with Alton Gillespie. Alvin Stube is here. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in to the old driver's lounge. Let's see here. I'm not going to read every single chat because you guys know the thing. I'll be 25 hours behind. I guess Susie Joan got blocked from something. I don't know. Michael McAndrews, $20. Oh my gosh. Michael McAndrews, yippee, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, you are great with words, John. Thank you, Michael. I am great. Sometimes I feel like I'm not so great, but thank you so much. I appreciate you, Michael. The Wicked Wizard of Oz. No, not of Oz. But thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that. Skip it on down. David Dog says, John's going to make me cry. My dad was a huge union guy, too. Yeah, I didn't say that because I talk about my dad and I don't always cry, but for some reason that just touched me. I don't know. And I've told that story many times, and I don't think I ever cried. You know, Jen Bay says, Trucker John, damn TJ, I'm sending you a big fucking hug. Let that poison out, TJ. For real, my brother. You are a good man, and your dad is proud of you. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate that. Michelle's here. Hello. Saying hello. David Dog says, sound like John's describing my dad. Luck Dragon says, hating America is going back. Wait, hating America. This is from Luck Dragon. Hating America is. I do talk weird. No, Luck Dragon says, hating America is going back to a monarchy. Loving America is beating the system. I'm trying to figure out why all these rich people are complaining. Are you? I don't know. Well, the rich people are complaining is because they want to control everything. And they're greedy. They don't want to pay any taxes, and they don't like regulations. You know, and that's basically it in a nutshell. They're just greedy sons of bitches and bastards. Catherine Real Health Talk says tomorrow is a day for all of us, and one main message, mainly things to march about. Victor Harshman is here. Victor says, my wife and I will be in Sandy, Oregon with our American flags and signs. Fuck the regime. Good on you, Victor Harshman. Damon Dog John looks high. I'm not high, but that's what I guess crying will do to you. It'll make you look high. Sandy Foltz is here. Fall season is so beautiful. It is, and even here in good old Las Vegas. I mean, it's not that it's beautiful because we have all these trees with changing colors, but it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful because it's not boiling hot. And for me, that's what it is. But I know across the country that fall can be a really one of the best times of the year. Probably everywhere. In at least North America. I don't know where it's like in freaking Australia, but. Bomber Nicholas says, never in my 70 years have I ever talked or cared about politics day after day. It sucks. Day after day. I know, talking about politics, a lot of people don't like to do it. And that's fine. And I understand it can get old and it can get, I think it's because it can get so contentious that people just don't want to, deal with it. But one of my sayings that I made up, no, I don't think I did make this. I probably heard it somewhere. I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure I didn't invent this, but basically, it's what did I say? You can you can ignore politics, but politics won't ignore you. I mean, politics are in everything. Politics control or influence every aspect of our lives because we live in a supposedly civilized government, and we have government, and that requires making laws and policy and regulations, and that's all political because we have different parties and they have different viewpoints on how those things should be carried out, and so So politics are in everything, whether you like it or not, whether you want to talk about it or not, and that's fine if you don't want to. I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying you have to, but just realize that just because you've walked away from politics or aren't going to talk about politics, politics are still going to affect your life every single day. So I think it is important to have some, some basic knowledge in what's going on as far as with our governments at every level, local, state, federal. Otherwise, the next thing you know, there's something that you like to do or that you think is a basic right or a freedom is going to be taken away, and you're going to be like, well, how the hell did that happen? Janet DeBay says, Trucker John, when they go low, we get high and laugh at them. Yeah. And more, when they go low, we go lower. Luck Dragon says, I know a lot of people who have died for a lot of stupid things that could have been avoided or cured. I don't know, do you? But nothing beats texting and driving. I don't know about that, but yeah, please don't text and drive. Witchy woman gonna clean, but I'm listening. I'm listening. Don't think just because I'm cleaning, I ain't listening. Anna Moore says, I will be attending the protest in Riverside, New Jersey. Michael McAndrew says, don't feel bad for me. I love the video. Okay. I'm glad you liked it. And it's a fun video. I know it's meant in jest and in good fun. Mr. Spock is here. Hey, live long and prosper. Oh, by the way, I didn't really find any memes except for I did have this. I hope I took a little screenshot. This is just a little idea of some of the Fancy's video there. It's got old Trucker John playing a guitar, electric guitar, and singing the song about the Wicked Wizard and the dragon riding prince saving the day, saving the damsels in distress, Jolie and Fancy. Yeah. Mr. Spock says, the first thing Zelensky should have said to Trump is, so when are you releasing the Epstein files? So Catherine Real talks some more on Ace Frehley. Says Ace Frehley fell in the studio in September, had brain bleed, and was he's on life support. Damn. So he was probably kind of like in a coma or whatever since the whole time. He fell in the studio. Wow, what a way to go. Well, at least he went doing the thing that he loved most. Isn't that what people always say? I think that's what he loved most, but I don't know. I don't know if being in the studio was the thing he loved most. Alden Gillespie, my God. I just read your post, and it really took me for a loop. Is that the expression? Alden says, my grandfather died from a fall through a trap door. They hanged him. Who was your father? Billy the Kid or something? Oh yeah, that was Pat Garrett that got him. David Weiss from Denver, I think, says, when I heard Ace passed, I played Strutter loud and danced to it. Spaceman launch. Strutter. Yeah, I imagine there'll be a lot of old Kiss songs being played. Now here's the link Jolie has for Fancy's newest YouTube video. There's the link to it if you guys want to check it out. It's very, very entertaining, very fun video. If you want to check that out, make sure you give Fancy a sub. Give her a sub. Squirrel Girl is here. Hello, Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl. Michael McAndrews, I'm not sure if you were right when you said I speak well or talk well. Squirrel Girl. That's a hard one. Oh, I gotta do some mouth exercises. Susie Jones says, I wish I could. I'm in a chair. I did run to the pharmacy and store this morning. That's when I found out I'm broke. Embarrassing when you have to put stuff back. So embarrassing. I've been there too. Susie Jones. And yeah, it's embarrassing and it sucks. But just hang in there, and you'll get through it. You'll get through it. You'll get through it. Catherine, Real Health Talk says, blessings, all gotta go. Be safe tomorrow and have fun. Maybe do flash mob Chicago dance or group sing like Twist and Shout and Ferris Bueller. That would be funny and fun. Be alert and watchful. Stay on your feet. Yep. Head on a swivel. Bethany S. Arbaugh says, I'm going to try to go have no car, can't drive. Friend might take me. Going to wear a grandma shark shirt, maybe. Oh, from Baby, I think Shark. My daughter made for Halloween. Oh yeah, if you can get there, I know transportation can be an issue. If someone can drive you there, that's great. If you can take a city bus, that's what I'm going to do. I don't have a car, but I'm going to take the bus. It takes off here on Tropicana Avenue, and it just goes straight up Tropicana for about 9 miles, and that'll take me right to New York. So I'm lucky I have a bus that I can take. But yeah, but if you can't go, then just be there in spirit and kind of root us all on, Or if you see things on YouTube or anything that you see videos, people who are live streaming from any of the No Kings, go ahead and give them a thumbs up. Maybe sub to their channels, maybe share their channels, all that kind of stuff. Those things are important too, I think. David Weiss says, my apartment complex had another senior brunch yesterday. I took leftovers, enough for breakfast today. They offered not huge turnout, but met some nice people, lots of food. See, that's nice. That's nice that your apartment complex does that. I think that's great. Michael Andrews, $2 super chat. Another one from Michael. Thank you, Michael. Yippee, Michael. Thank you so much. And I'll give you a thumbs up and a heart. And it says, will $2 help meet the goal? Well, we're 2/5 of the way there, both by Michael. So you've done more than your fair share there, Michael, to make the goal. So I appreciate you, as always. Aaron West says, my tongue is numb. I just went to the dentist. Have to go back because my crown doesn't fit right. Yeah, I hate that when they never seem to get it right. It seems like the first time, right? Karen Ames, I'm late, but here bait. Another thing my dad always said, better late than never. And I promise I won't start crying again. But thanks, Karen, from Victor Valley, the Victor Valley, my old stomping grounds. Thanks for being here, Karen. I do appreciate you. Bethany S. Arbaugh, I will be in Athens, Ohio. I think I've driven around there, around Athens, in my truck driving days. Jen at the base says, Trucker John TJ, I've got my signage ready for No Kings. Portland tomorrow. One side says, Grinder Mike released the full and complete Epstein files now. And on the other side is a Republican checklist. Okay. Ivy Joe Casey. Hey, Ivy Joe, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Ivy Joe says, I made it to Green Bay, y'all. Oh, yeah, that was one of the earlier chats that I wasn't able to see when I turned the show on, but I did see it earlier. Yeah, Ivy was on the road to Wisconsin. So Ivy says, I made it to Green Bay, y'all. My boss and I have bail money. Everyone stay safe and have a great weekend and let love, 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 love flow. Are you going there to be in the No Kings March, or just as if for some other thing? Or is it just you and the boss? No, I shouldn't go there. Susie Jones says, David Dog, I'm missed a between the name and number. Thanks for everything. Fancy says, I'm going to be at home streaming everyone's live feeds to share. There you go. Yeah. Like I was just saying, if you can't go, then yeah, you could like, subscribe, and share to all those channels and stuff. David Weiss from Denver. David from Denver says, Grinder Mike reminds me of the historical first hate radio personality Father Coughlin. Videos on YouTube of his radio shows. We beat this back in the 30s when everything was worse. Yeah, this stuff just keeps getting recycled, doesn't it? This hate talk, hate, radio shows, hate speech, racism, all that. We sometimes, I think, we, especially like maybe younger generations coming up, think that this is like a whole new thing, but we've been dealing with this forever. It just keeps rearing its ugly head. It keeps popping up. That's why it's it requires constant gardening. We got to weed out these racists and these just evil people. We got to weed them out. Karen Ames says, so what are we talking about? No Kings? Prince Andrew giving up his title and everything due to Epstein? There was no question mark. Due to Epstein? Due to Epstein. We're talking about, we don't want a king. We want a president. And our current president wants to be a king. Robert Nicholas says, Trucker, I was just implying it wasn't so screwed up as it is today. Yes, I'm interested in politics. And I'm glad you are. Jen at the base says, Trucker John, the Republican checklist is Republicans, pedophiles first, Argentina first, Americans last, fake Christians, fake patriots, traitors, check all the boxes. I haven't made any signs. I don't have the wherewithal. So I have no signs. My sign is just going to be this. I don't know. This says everything. All right, I'm just skipping down a little bit here. So tomorrow I will go. I'm going to go to the, like I said, the No Kings March and the one in front of New York, New York. It's probably not going to be till like I think 4:00 Pacific time. I'll have the phone with me. I might just go live. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout. Roxanne79 says, "Hi everyone, I'm about to eat some pizza. Just finished replacing all the fire alarms." Oh, that's right. You were talking about that earlier about last week about how it annoyed you when it was beeping or whatever. So I guess you wouldn't. Did you go and replace? Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think you tried to replace a battery, but that still didn't work or whatever. So I guess you had to replace them outright. Just get all new ones, I guess, huh? Well, at least now you don't have to worry about either A, the thing beeping and when it's not supposed to beep and annoying you, and B, hopefully they will beep when they're supposed to beep and save you from a fire, from getting hurt in a fire. Christina and Sun Go Squad says someone said that there are going to be online rallies that you can join if you can't leave your house, like if you're bedridden. So check those out. Well, yeah, that's cool. Certainly, yeah, that's a good thing. It's a good thing that the technology we have today is it's not like the old days. Ivy Joe Casey says, TJ, to answer your question, I work at a newspaper. I am a assistant editor. Oh, awesome. And so are you guys covering the No Kings for the paper? I imagine. Yeah, but you know what happens when you assume? You make an assuming. Karen Ames says, make sure to turn facial recognition off your phones. Put in airplane mode is what I've heard to do. Really? Well, I can't do that if I'm going to live stream. I don't think I can do that from airplane mode. But, Ivy Joe Casey says, Michael McAndrews, I've worked hard for my position. Also, you try covering McTaco Tits rallies. Had things thrown at me, spit at, and threatened. And all thanks to Trump, right? It's because of his rhetoric and his his directives. You know, the press is the enemy of the people, and he'll tell them all, turn around, look, there they are, and he'll say all these really bad things. Yeah, that must have been scary as hell to have to go into that lion's den. Even if you're just reporting it's a straight news story, you're not, you're being objective. You're not. It's not like you're. And I don't know what you guys do, but just a reporter who's just doing straight up news. They're just covering the event. and they still are the enemy of the people because of Trump. And that's what the maggots, they say and do whatever he tells them, especially back then. Hopefully some of that's falling away, but yeah, that must have been, you really earned your pay going in there for the covering those rallies as a member of the press. I did it. I did one just as a dope with an iPhone, and I nearly got run out of there. And I felt the crowd closing in on me. I really did. I mean, and they were yelling at me, getting in my face. There may have been a little spittle involved, actually, now that I think of it. And that was just me, just not even being a reporter. I mean, they just, at first, they just thought I was one of them until I couldn't keep my mouth shut. And I was making little remarks and things. But yeah, so I can imagine being an actual member of the press with your press badge on, and you're in the press section, and they know who you are. They know what, and you're just totally a target from then on. As soon as you get in there, that must have been tough and scary. Not, yeah, but mostly scary, right? But good on you for hanging in there and covering those stories. I'm just skipping down a little bit, guys. Squirrel Girl, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Squirrel Girl. Yippee! To Squirrel Girl says, Trucker John and everyone stay safe at No King's Day. And then I guess it's like hugs to all, or I guess that's a hug emoji to all. Thank you, Squirrel Girl. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for that. We are 3/5 of the way on the goal. Roxanne79 says, care names, don't feel bad too. I've been watching online and the live streams. It's bike week here this week, and Sheriff is bringing in tanks. I'm too scared to go alone or anywhere this weekend. Yeah, don't go alone. If you don't have someone to go with, and if you feel scared and deservedly so, if they're things are kind of apping up, then yeah, then don't go. Like for Vegas, I really don't. I really don't have any fear that something bad will happen. But I mean, it could be wrong, but because you never know. You never know. But if I did think, if I felt like something, if I just felt like something bad is really going to happen, like, then I probably wouldn't go. But so everyone has to make their own decision and judge their situation. You guys all know your own situation, so. But hopefully we can all go and make it a peaceful event. And I would say that if anything violent breaks out, it's not going to be from us. It's going to be from them. I don't know if Luck Dragon is being, humorous here or what? Because I'm kind of mid-thread on what's going on there. So, hey, MJ Daniel from up there in Washington State says, my mother's friend and her daughter used to be Republicans, but they voted for Biden and Harris and will be at the protest tomorrow. Wow. That is encouraging when you hear stories of people that actually have changed for the better. Because sometimes we think like, oh, no, people aren't going to change. They're just locked in. No matter what I say, no matter what I do, they're always just going to be, MAGA or whatever. So that is encouraging to hear people kind of finally I guess, waking up or seeing the light or whatever. And so, yeah, thanks for telling that. Christina and Sun Ghost Squad says, I think you'll be sleeping, Trucker John, because the No Kings March near me is at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 7 a.m. here. That's about when I usually get up. Barbara Nicholas says, Trucker, get one of those free signs Aunt Tifa is giving out. Yeah, if they have some free signs, I'll pick one up. Hey, Richard, our expat down unders is here. Says, watching from Australia, expat American born in Texas, 1947. Stephen Sayers is here. Steve says, please remain calm and carry on. No King's Day. Peacefully protest. Absolutely. Peacefully protest. Don't take the bait. And we want the numbers. We want this to be huge numbers of peaceful protesters that can't be ignored. And we're going to do it. There's going to be there will be more No King's Days. This will not be the last one. And each one, the hope is that they will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until these fucking oligarchs, these fucking 1/10 of 1%ers will actually be shaking in their boots, shitting their fucking pants. Just because of the numbers. We don't have to do anything violent. There's no need for it. Because we have the numbers and we can show them that we are coming together. And we will shut this shit down. Just by our numbers. We can control everything if we all come together right now over me. No. It's the sheer numbers we need to just let Washington, D.C. know and let these fucking oligarchical fucks know that we're onto them. We're onto their game, and we're not going to take it anymore. Richard says there's no longer a Republican Party, but rather a Trumplican Party, 25th Amendment time. Well, if this is the Trumplican Party, then they're not going to 25th Amendment. They're because they're part of the Trumplican Party. I think the only way to get rid of him is impeachment, and that's not going to happen either because we don't have the numbers for that either. So he's either going to croak in office, or he'll live through it, and we vote him out. That's basically the two scenarios. And in the meantime, we need to get back the Congress. A year from now, when we start voting in the midterm congressional elections, we need to take back the House and the Senate. And if we can get the numbers we need in the House and the Senate, then we could impeach him. But that's so. I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I mean, if enough people are pissed off, we see these No Kings turnouts. That's got to tell you something about how people are fed up. DPD 5844 is here. Hey, DPD 5844, good to see you. DPD 5844 says, my sign says, fuck the Nazi fascist white nationalist regime of pedophiles and fuck you to Nazi Gestapo. The sign is in yellow and the words are in black and red. So that should show up pretty good. Now, they were saying to wear a yellow shirt. I don't have a yellow shirt. I'm sorry, yellow just is not in my wardrobe. And I'm not going to go buy a shirt and nothing like that. But I guess if you have a yellow shirt, wear a yellow shirt. If not, just wear wherever the fuck you want. Just as long as you're there. That's the important thing, is to be there. And if you can't be there, I understand. If it's transportation problems, or if it's because you're just afraid, that's fine. Then stay home and like we say, like, subscribe, and share to all the live streaming, all the live streamers that are going to be streaming. But if you don't have a yellow shirt, just fucking wear whatever you want. But if you have a yellow shirt, I guess wear a yellow shirt. Maybe by the time they do the next No Kings thing, which I haven't seen anything scheduled for it, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be No Kings events held all the way until Donald Trump is out of office, one way or the other. So maybe somewhere down the road, maybe I'll get myself a yellow shirt. But then the next one, I'll go, hey, now we're going to wear, chartreuse or something. I don't know. Is chartreuse a color? I don't even know. And then I'll be like, God damn it, now I got to get a chartreuse colored shirt. That probably isn't even a thing. Damon Dog, the big dog, says, I got a 9-foot expanding flagpole. I bet you do. It's like a radio antenna, but really sturdy. Hope it works well. Well, don't we all? Don't we all? Fancy says, what did you do? See, I'm mid-thread, so I don't know. I skipped down. I don't know what Fancy's talking about. DPD 5844 says, travel in groups, but don't let them discourage you. Damon Dog says, if I were going to make a sign, no faux kings, no faux king way is a great idea. No faux king way? No faux king way. Oh, I get it. No fucking way. See, Damon Dog, I know I'm a little slow on the uptake. I'm a little slow, but I got it. At least give me credit. I worked it out and I got it. Okay, it took me about 5 seconds, but I got it. So at least give me that credit for that. No fucking way. No fucking way. I get it. That's great. That's very clever. There might be a lot of people less clever than I that they might not ever get it though, which is good. Fuck them. I can say that because I got it, so I can say that. Witchy Woman says, Damon Lovett stealing it for a street sign. Can you make your own street signs now? I didn't know that was a thing. I'm going to make my own street sign. I don't like the name of this street. Chandler Boulevard will now be known as No Fucking Way. That could be in a Chinatown district. No fucking way. No. Okay, I think I just said something probably prejudiced. Probably racist. Kinky Streets is here. Hey, Kinky, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Kinky Street says, my physical therapist wasn't born in the USA. He's climbed the Himalayas up to 20,000 feet with no oxygen assist. With Trump regime, the USA will no longer attract people like my physical therapist working here. Yeah, there's great people that come here. The number of bad people that come here, I think, is very small. And I think the overwhelming majority of those folks get deported or locked up. And we don't have to do it the way that Stephen Miller is having it done. Barack Obama and Joe Biden, under their presidencies, deported millions and millions and millions of people that needed to be deported. And I didn't see any reports of them sending Black Hawk helicopters over apartment buildings and rappelling down like it's some sort of fucking Die Hard movie or something, which Die Hard is one of my favorite movies. But none of that shit. Plunking people out of courtrooms, plunking people just off the street just because they have brown skin. We didn't see any of that shit. Okay, they did it the right way. They used warrants and they used probable cause. We didn't see that under Obama or Biden. So there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it. And the way the Trump administration is doing it, it is wrong because it's illegal. They're stripping people of their due process rights. And people have those rights, even if they're not U.S. citizens. Non-citizens still have rights. If they're on our fucking land, they have rights. They have rights of due process. So, yeah, it's just a shame that there's so many people that come here and they offer so much. They can offer so much to us and make us. That's what makes us a great country. That's why the whole melting pot is a beautiful thing, because we have this melting pot of cultures and backgrounds and people with all kinds of talents and skills, and that all enriches us as a country and as a people. And that's why the Jolly Good Ginger is crying in his beer, is he can't understand why are people so stupid that they would hate they hate the other. If they're not lily white, they hate them. And it's so ignorant and it's so stupid. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop. All right, skipping on down a bit. Alvin Stoops says Mike Johnson says it's Hate America Day march, but he must have been looking in the mirror at the time. Yeah, well, obviously they don't like what we're doing. And so the Republican leadership, anyone that's a Republican that's in front of a microphone, is going to call this the Hate America Day. Again, it's projection because they really are the ones that hate America. They hate the Constitution. They hate civil rights and equal rights. They hate all of that shit. So again, it's projection. They're the ones that hate America, and they're the ones that they want to, bend it to their ideology, which is Christian white nationalism. That's what they want America to just be, a theological a theocracy. Fuck the Constitution, fuck all that shit. This should be a theocracy that is just headed by white nationalists. And so, of course, they think this is Hate America Day. But actually, it is, we're not taking your shit anymore day. If you want to change the name of it from No Kings, it's actually, we ain't taking your shit anymore day, motherfucker. That really is the actual day. If you read the fine print, that is the actual name of it. We're not taking your shit anymore, motherfucker. But then just, I guess to clean it up a little bit, or it's just easier to say No Kings Day. Hey, the Soulcraft is here. Soulcraft says was on RSBN listening to his press con with Zelensky, and the lies just keep coming, and the maggots here swallow it whole. Richard says Donald Hitler, Adolf Trump. Victor Harshman says just followed Trucker John on Blue Sky. Look up his name there. Thank you, Victor Harshman. Yeah, I am on Blue Sky. Hey, dudes, I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Threads. I'm on Substack. I did do my first Substack little article. Not really an article, but I just basically say, hey, this is my first Substack. Maybe I'll try to do more of those. Maybe write some stuff on Substack. Let's see, where else am I on? Instagram, Facebook. We got just the regular old John Fowler channel, but we also had the Progressive Radio Station list on Facebook. So yeah, I'm all over the place, man. I'm everywhere. I'm nationwide. I'm bad. Damon Dog says no one looks good in yellow. Maybe just wear a banana suit, one of them banana suits. I think that would qualify. I don't have one though, unfortunately. Squirrels Girl says I've got transportation problems, so I'll be scrolling around for some live events on YouTube. Absolutely, that's Squirrel Girl. Absolutely do that. Hit the live streams, like, subscribe, and share them out. That's a great way to go too. Roxanne79 says I don't own a yellow shirt either. Yeah, just wear. If you're gonna go, just don't let that be a deterrent. Just wear whatever you want. Christina and Sun Ghost Squad says just get a shirt that says "Not My President," and then you can wear it to anything. Christina Weil says yellow scarf, yellow bracelet, something yellow will work. Yeah. What do they call it? Accessorize. Just accessorize in yellow, and a yellow thing there. Christina Weil, Rage Against the Machine. I don't know if you're just now watching the intro, because we had a little taste of that in there. Richard says Mike Johnson is so-called Christian supporting the convicted felon Trump. What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck, Mike? I think it should be a law that you cannot be aware to wear a cross if you're going to support someone who is not just a convicted criminal, but is a 34-time convicted criminal, a pedophile, a serial assaulter. I don't think you should be allowed to wear a Christian cross if you're wholeheartedly supporting that person. Now, and then they'll say, well, no one's perfect. All have sinned. They'll try to throw that at you. All have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. All that kind of shit. Yeah, okay, fine. He's a sinner, and we can forgive sinners. Sinners, we can forgive sinners. God forgives. It's not up to us to forgive, but yeah, sure, you can forgive him, but you don't make him your fucking president, for God's sakes. Let him work out his salvation without being president, for God fucking sake. Damon Dog was laughing at something. See, when I'm 20 minutes behind, I don't know what Damon Dog was laughing about now. Probably maybe about the poll talk. Christina Weibel says, I saw that shirt on another video today. It's black with gold letters. Rage Against the Machine, Christina. Oh. Richard says, time for Sandy Koufax to throw a curveball to Trump in the batter's box. Speaking of Sandy Koufax and curveballs, the Los Angeles Dodgers are playing Game 4 of the NLCS at home against the Milwaukee Brewers. See, I can't talk. Michael McAndrews, I cannot talk. They won last night, so the Dodgers go up 3-0 in the best-of-7 series. The winner of this championship series will go to the World Series. So if the Dodgers win tonight, they will be playing this evening at Dodger Stadium. First pitch, I believe, is at 5:08 p.m. Pacific time. So 8:08 for you East Coasters. I don't know what it is for you guys down under in Australia. But yeah, they're playing tonight. If they win tonight, they sweep and will go to the World Series. If they lose, then they still have one more game tomorrow in LA, and so they could win it tomorrow in LA if they lose tonight. So I'll be rooting for the Dodgers wholeheartedly. Hope they win tonight and go to the World Series, and then I hope they win there. Over in the American League, you've got Toronto playing Seattle. Seattle, the first 2 games were in Toronto, and Seattle won those 2 games and looked pretty convincingly doing it. Then they go to Seattle to play 3 games, right? And they've lost all 3 games, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, because I've been watching them. So I should know this. I think they just lost 3 in a row at home and got their asses kicked. So now they're going back to Toronto. I believe Toronto has a 3-2 edge, if I'm remembering right. And so after going up 2-0, they could be eliminated if Toronto wins back there. So anyhow, that's all pretty interesting stuff, I think. If you're a baseball fan, if you're not, it's not. DPD 5844 says, if anyone out there drives, offer your fellow participants rides because they may need transportation. Yeah, we should. There should be that. It'd be nice if there, maybe there's something online, maybe there's some groups, ways to find out if there are people that are offering rides or if there's some kind of a shuttle system. But for me, like I said, I'm lucky. I got the bus right around the corner and it goes straight up, right to where I need to go. So I'm lucky in that way. Kinky Street says, in fact, during those times, Biden and Bush, before employers of undocumented workers would be fined, Trump hasn't fined any company employing them. Trump caters to the wealthy corporations only. Yeah, they used to have, but they probably still have it. What was it, E-Verify? And that was supposed to be offered, or it's supposed to be in place so that employers can go to E-Verify and verify if the person that they're thinking of hiring is documented. But then I've heard there's all kinds of flaws in the system, or it's been sabotaged, or it doesn't work, or they don't enforce it. You know, I guess anything we have, it's only as good as the enforcement. Christina Weigel says, we are a melting pot country. That's what makes us a country. I saw Jolly crying today. Yeah. If you watched my intro, you saw it too. And basically, I kind of just said that same exact thing. We are simpatico. Simpatico. Kiki Street says Walmart once caught locking. I guess they were caught locking undocumented workers in its stores to clean because it thought they stole stuff. During Obama, Walmart was busted for this. Walmart now funds Heritage Foundation Project 2025. Just vindictive little bitches, aren't they? Fucking Walmart. Fuck Walmart. Michael McAndrews, we ain't gonna take this shit anymore. Yep, that's the actual real name of it. DPD 5844 that says the Nazis backed down from closing the are you saying 190? I think it was the expressway in California. Yeah, there is. It's not I-90, but it might be Highway 90. I think I know what you're talking about. Guys, I gotta go get some water. I forgot to bring a water at the start of the show. Richard says, I love the way Trucker John do. Well, thank you, Richard. Thank you so much. I'm going to just go get a water because I'm dying of thirst. I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourselves. If I had some really funny music, I would play it, but it's not worth the hassle. We're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. All righty. All righty then. Here I am. Just had to get me some water. Cheers, mates. Christina Weibel says, how about game over or release the files? That could be the name of the thing we're doing. Yeah, that could work. Let me go ahead and scroll down. David Weiss from Denver says, thanks for the yellow shirt alert. I did not know that. I have two. And one I can write on with magic marker. The sideways nope, a cunning plan, Baldrick. So you lucked out. You've got the yellow shirts. Christian White will let he who was without sin cast the first stone. Christina Weibel says, "Go Dodgers, go 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 Dodgers." Christina and Sun Ghost Squad says, "I think one of the spirits here are just sick of John talking because they pressed pause on my phone. I was like, why did the sound go out?" Well, I'm sorry that I have offended the spirits at Christina's house. I apologize, spirits. But I am thirsty, and this water tastes really good. Very, very good. Very, 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 very good. DPD 5844 says, "Did anyone hear these motherfuckers were going to pay the military only to rescind the military's pay? How fucking disgusting is that? I wonder what the personal who supports this BS feels with no pay." I heard that they were taking money illegally, the Trump administration, from money that was supposed to be spent on other things. I forget what the things were. Probably something about feeding kids or something. I don't know. And they were going to use that to pay the military. And immediately, and the first thing I thought was, that's illegal. You cannot misappropriate funds. It's called misappropriation of funds, I think. And so, of course, immediately a bunch of Democrats filed, I think, lawsuits or something. But I don't know if that stopped it. But that's what I heard. Anyhow. Damon Dog says, "Oh, good. The new truck has 3 months of Sirius, so I can listen to the game as I drive. Groovy." Yeah, you got games. You got Dodger game tonight. Well, I think the other game might be on right now, the Toronto game, or pretty soon. I think, but I don't know. I forgot to look at the schedule. I don't know if they're traveling today or if they had a game today. But the Dodger game is going to be on later. Yeah, but so tomorrow, in any case, there probably is going to be the Toronto Seattle game tomorrow, I think. I don't know. Just go to MLB.com and you can, or ESPN, or any other sports related website, and you could get the schedule. David Dog says it's only a 6-hour drive if you don't stop, but I stop a lot for coffee and stretching my back and legs because of my sciatica. It's been lately, but the stretching helps. Well, it's going to be a road trip. Road trip. Damon Dog is road trip. Richard says, "Take me out to the ball game theme time song." Take me out to the ball game. Anthony Reminiak says, "I want Toronto to win so the team won't go to the White House." Well, just because they're Canadian, I mean, I guess do they only do that for? I guess because they're not American. So if they did win, I guess they wouldn't invite them to the White House, would they? Yeah, that makes sense, right? But I want the Dodgers to win, and whether or not they go to the White House, I don't really care. I just want them to go to the World Series and win the World Series because I'm a selfish prick and I want my team to win. Christina Sun Ghost said, "I don't know what the problem is in the 20s. They were begging people to come to New York to settle here because in order to build it up, you need people to pay tax, and now they want to throw those same people's families out. And they need workers. It's not always just about tax. Who was built? Each wave of immigrants that come in, they're the builders of the shit. The Irish came in, built a bunch of shit. We had the Chinese, building railroads and shit. The Italians, they built a lot of the skyscrapers. That's how it works. Christina Weibel says, "Boycott with your dollars, vote with your dollars." Yep. Power over the purse. Kiki Street says the New York Yankees now have the Trump jinx, longest streak of failing to win World Series. Trump jinx. David Dog is replying to Mr. Spock, I guess about his truck. It says actually it was built in Alabama. For those of you that don't know, Damon Dog just yesterday bought a brand new Honda Ridgeline pickup truck, red, a pretty red one. So Damon Dog says it was built in Alabama. It's a 2025, so they already had it in stock before the tariffs. The 2026s will probably have the added cost, but this truck cost almost the same as my 2021. Wow. Christina's Son Ghost Squad says, pause this so you don't lose where you are, TJ, while you get the water. Yeah, it was paused, I think. I don't think it moved. Mr. Spock, haven't you trained the cockroaches to bring you the beer? Yeah, if they're going to be here, they should at least be useful. But since the big spray, like I said, yesterday I saw one crawling up the wall in the bathroom, a cockroach, and he's been dispatched. I saw one in the sink, and I believe that was a cockroach. And then today I saw there's a couple of these little tiny little black bugs. I don't know what the fuck they are, but I saw them crawling around, and I just smash them with my hands now. I'm to the point where we're down to, we're down to just mano a mano now. It's come down to that. I'm just smashing them with my fist. I don't even give a fuck anymore. That's what I'm down to in this war with the bugs. Richard says, "Damn Yankees" was a musical with Tab Hunter, I believe. Yeah, back in the 50s. Hey, Elizabeth Martinez is here. Elizabeth says, "Hola, John, on YouTube, ICE officer arrested for DUI with kids in the car. Not happy that is title on YouTube." The officer's not happy? Too bad. You're putting your kids and other people's lives at risk, you prick. I'm talking about the ICE officer. Janet Bay says, Trucker John, with all this Dodger talk, I feel compelled to eat a Farmer John hot dog. Vince Scully Vice. Farmer John. David Dog says, I wonder if the Brewers' Karen will be at the game tonight. She has plenty of time in her hand since she got fired for threatening ICE on the Dodgers fan. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they didn't ban her from the stadium. She got fired from her job. And you know what? I don't feel sorry for that bitch, not one little bit. Not one little bit. Because you know what? You shouldn't have said that. You should not have said that. Just because your team is getting beat, it's just a game, for one thing. It's just a fucking game. And I know we get sad when our team loses. I get sad for about 5 minutes. But I don't resort to fucking racism. I don't resort to saying, if I saw someone that I perceive to be a Latin American or Hispanic or whatever, I'm not going to go. You should have or ICE reported on you or whatever she said. I should get you. I'm just. I might go. I might say something like "fuck you, Dodge," or I guess it'd be "fuck you, Brewer fan, get the fuck out of my stadium," which is stupid too. That's stupid too. But I'm not going to tell them like just because I see this Hispanic-looking person, I'm going to go. You should be reported to ICE or something. That tells me everything about that person. And she looked, because if you looked at her, you think, oh, she's just a nice lady, she's just probably a mom and whatever, right? But as soon as that came out of her mouth, you just know that she's a fucking racist. And so I think she got what she deserved. Apparently she was on some board or she was a part of some sort of organization that she stepped down from that. She voluntarily stepped down from that, whatever. Well, I forget if it was some charitable thing or whatever it was, but she didn't want to get them. She probably stepped down before they were going to fire her. They probably said, you need to resign or we're going to fire you. So she stepped down from that, whatever that was, that organization. I forget what it was now. And she got fired from her job. And I'm like, bitch, you fucking got what you deserve, man. Twisted Nerve Painting is Harry. Twisted Nerve, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. DPD says to Trucker John, or TJ, what type of water are you drinking? Avoid Nestle, Pure Life, Kroger brands, Walmart brands, Ice Mountain, and Spring Valley. They contain high levels of chemicals from plastics, arsenic, and bacteria. I'm drinking Crystal Geyser. That is my water of choice. When I buy water, that's my favorite. Bottled at the source. I'm not, and that's about the extent of my bottled water talk that I'm going to do. I've had arguments about this before, and to where I end up regretting what I said. So that's it. I'm not going to say anything else about it. Moving on. Soulcraft says those are baby ones like I think I'm mid-thread. Oh wait, so those are baby ones like smaller than ants. It took Roach Bane to finally get those little bastards. I don't know what Roach Bane is, but I still haven't gotten those combat things. That's what I need to get. Twisted Nerves Painting said finished a full-length video this morning onto Patreon. It will premiere next Saturday. My longest edited video yet. Wow. Twisted Nerves Painting is working on that for a while now. David Weiss from Denver says, I don't like Walmart or Amazon much, but I shop the deals. It helped me over the Windows 10 to 11 nonsense recently. I have moved most of my stuff from old PC to new PC that is faster. Yeah, I know. I'm not really big on either of those companies, but I occasionally shop there. So All right. MJ Daniel says losing to the 41-year-old pitcher with nearly a 6 ERA who had not pitched in weeks was the most Mariners thing they could have done last night. Yeah, Max Scherzer, he was looking good last night. He was looking like he was 35 again or something. Yeah. All right, so I guess I'm caught up. We are at over 2 hours. I should probably let you guys go. I know there's some other stuff you guys want to watch. So I thank you guys for being here. Thanks for the fan support. We've got 3 out of 5 on the goal. Thank you, Michael McAndrews. Thank you, Sandy Foltz. Thank you, Squirrel Girl. Thank you guys so much for the support. You guys are awesome. For the super chats and stuff. I do appreciate you. And thanks to everyone who's come here with a like, subscribe, and sharing. Thanks for coming into the driver's lounge and participating in the chat. For all the lurkers, thank you guys for lurking, and I appreciate everyone for being here. I'll be on again tomorrow. I'll do a regular show 11 a.m. right after Hal Sparks. Oh, excuse me. Right after Hal Sparks tomorrow at 11 a.m. We'll do a couple hours, and then I'm going to get on the bus, and I'll head on out to the No Kings March, and I'll see if I can go live, if that works. If not, I'll make some videos, and we'll post videos. Susie Jones, are you ending now? Yeah, I'm ending now. I'm going to end it. We've got over 2 hours. I think we've covered everything we need to cover today. We talked about, No Kings marching and a bunch of stuff. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Hal Sparks should be on today, I think at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I believe he's going to come on. And then later on this evening, we've got Tara Devlin will be on. If you want to check out Tara Devlin on Terra Buster about, I don't know, what time does she come on? 6 or 7 Eastern time. So check that out. Otherwise, just stay safe, guys. If you're going to go out marching and protesting and No Kings, stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of what's going on. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Don't get any tussles or fights or anything like that. Don't give them the footage they want. They just want that footage. So don't give that to them. Just keep it peaceful. But let's try to get the big numbers that we can, and let's let fucking the Donald Trumps of the world and the Stephen Millers of the world, and these top 1%ers, these fucking Project 2025 motherfuckers, these Koch brother motherfuckers, this Heritage Foundation motherfuckers. Let's let them know that we aren't going to take their shit anymore. The Jamie Dimon motherfuckers. Let's let them know we're not going to fucking take their shit anymore. And that when we come together, when we the people come together, you guys are fucked. Because there's a fucking 300 million more of us than there are of you. So fuck you. You rich fucks. Fuck you. Fuck you to hell. And with that note of, positive note, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll do some words of wisdom. How about that? How about we do some words of wisdom? Are you guys ready? Write this down for today's words of wisdom. And again, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. But today's words of wisdom are as follows. Okay, so please.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So high-style la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John Livestream. Yeah, the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win, right here on the Trucker John Livestream. No, this time to say goodbye, the show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry, we're all gonna come back and meet again.
Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. For free. So you wanna take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight. You don't wanna wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road. It'll make you wish that you were young, but all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for us. It's all just a big charade. It's all just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills. It's about staying in the hunt. It's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road. That's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows. So go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road. Just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret. It'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life. Everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot. You're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along.
Show's over. I'm out of here, folks. Bye.